Amber Heard demands a new trial, $10 million in appeals verdict on defamation of Johnny Depp. Less than a month ago, Johnny Depp formally appealed a portion of the judgment in his significant defamation case against Amber Heard. Amber Heard, who starred alongside Depp in Rum Diary, has since submitted her own brief to the Virginian courts. Additionally, Heard's relatively new attorneys are constantly criticizing trial court Judge Penny Ascarrett and bringing up the First Amendment. J. Ward Brown and David L. Axelrod wrote in the November 23 filed document, the trial court erroneously refused to dismiss this action on the grounds of forum nonconvenience, based on its mistaken conclusion that Depp's claims arose in Virginia because the Washington Post's servers are located here. The trial court erred in rejecting Heard's demur, in which she claimed that the contested statements are non-actionable expressions of opinion and are not reasonably capable of conveying the alleged defamatory implication. According to the attorneys from Ballard Spahr LLP, a constitutional law firm with offices in Washington, D.C., if that holding is allowed to stand, more women who want to speak up about abuse involving powerful men will definitely feel intimidated. Heard's appeal criticizes Judge Ascarrett for omitting highly probative material, and for admitting irrelevant and prejudicial evidence, as well as for providing the jury in the Fairfax County case, which went almost entirely in Depp's favor on June 1, the improper instructions. She demands a new trial be set up and that the more than $10 million verdict against her be overturned or thrown out. Additionally, since Depp had already been found to have assaulted Heard numerous times by another court, this case should never have gone to trial, according to the appellant's 68-page brief. The appeal for the libel case Depp filed against Rupert Murdoch's The Sun tabloid in 2018 for branding him a wife-beater and print notes that the United Kingdom High Court of Justice determined that Heard's abuse claims were true after Depp initiated this case. According to the Aquaman actor's most recent petition, the trial court should have given preclusive effect to that 129-page ruling, which followed a 3-week trial at which Depp, Heard, and 24 other witnesses testified. Depp filed a $50 million lawsuit against his ex-wife Heard in March 2019 in relation to an editorial she wrote for The Washington Post in late 2018. The ACLU ambassador discussed how she had become a public figure symbolizing domestic abuse in the article. Depp claimed that the opus-ed destroyed his already waning career despite the fact that Heard did not specifically mention her ex-husband by name in the essay in the broadsheet owned by Jeff Bezos. Depp claimed that in the relationship between the two, he was the one who was abused in his initial lawsuit and subsequent filings. The actor repeated this on the witness stand during the Virginia trial. Strangely, during his restraining order-filled divorce from Heard in 2016, Depp said nothing similar. Before the $7 million settlement between the two made it plain that he didn't say anything similar. Heard refiled a $100 million lawsuit against Depp in the summer of 2020. She had attempted to get the case dismissed or transferred to a different location, like California, but had been unsuccessful. The UK High Court found against Depp in the case he had brought against The Sun in November 2020. For him, this was a costly defeat. Depp has since tried unsuccessfully to win over supporters on that side of the Atlantic. In the hours following the jury's verdict on June 1, both parties declared they would submit an appeal. However, Depp didn't do so until early November. In regards to the $2 million that a Virginia jury awarded Heard in a countersuit claim, a November 3 filing in Virginia's Court of Appeals stated, this court should reverse the judgment on Ms. Heard's counterclaim as to the April 27 Waldman statement, but should otherwise affirm the judgment in Mr. Depp's favor. There was only one defamation suit made against Depp during the 7-week trial. The 7-person panel ruled overwhelmingly in favor of Depp. Aside from that, the former Oscar candidate received $5 million in punitive damages in addition to compensatory damages totaling $10 million. This was made possible by the encouragement of spectators on and off the court. Judge Ascarrett reduced the punitive damages to the state's maximum of $350,000 before dismissing the jury, even though it was significant at the time. If Heard's attorneys have their way, that $2 million counterclaim award could be the case's weak point. Heard's appeal dated just before Thanksgiving states that the jury decision against Heard on all of Depp's claims cannot be reconciled with the jury verdict against Depp on Heard's counterclaim. The lengthy document states that for the jury to find in Depp's favor, they must have determined that Heard intentionally lied when she claimed that Depp had abused her. But, to discover in favor of Heard, the jurors must have come to the conclusion that Heard was telling the truth when she claimed Depp had abused her at home. The judgment against Heard cannot stand as a result.